Hi guys, I'm Hannah and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing my health and wellness journey, how I got into it and what I've learnt along the way, because for me it's been a really big journey, a journey that I've loved so much. So I just thought that it would be really good to share it and to share what I learnt, because I know that like the health and wellness world and getting into it can be quite intimidating, and it's hard to know like where to start and what to do, and you know the online world is so full of information, and I'm not a personal trainer, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm just a normal person who really turned their life around into health and wellness and looking after myself. Just really sort of fell in love with it, and I love it now. I guess so. On my Instagram, obviously now I post all the time about my daily walks, my routines, my smoothies, like a lot of what I eat, and I just thought it'd be really good to share that actually my life has certainly not always been like this. For years I was plus size, during my 20s, and I lived a really unhealthy lifestyle for a really long time, and I really struggled with my self-confidence and my self-worth, and I don't know, it makes me really sad to think about it now, because I just didn't look after myself. I kind of didn't prioritize my own health and well-being. I was very absorbed in other things, and my work and my job and everything else that goes on in your life in your 20s, and unfortunately for me health and wellness just wasn't one of them, and I gained a lot of weight, and with that I just became less confident and less feeling good about myself. And I think there's no right or wrong way to look, and there's no right size, and everybody's body's different, and it is all about embracing your own body and how you look and loving yourself. And I do understand that this is a very difficult thing to talk about, because for everybody has their own journey with it, but yeah, I guess just sharing my own personal story. It all started for me about 3 years ago, and there was a trigger point for me, and people often talk about trigger points in their health journeys and weight loss journeys, and I definitely did have one. And it had got to the point where I had realized that there was a problem. I realized that I wasn't healthy. I realized that I was gaining a lot of weight, but I was just a little bit, I don't know, lazy. I was very lazy. I just didn't want to have to be bothered to work at it. I knew it was going to be so much work to do to turn my life around, that I just didn't really want to even start. It's going to be way too much to do. Anyway, I guess the trigger point for me was one day I was shopping, and I was in the Zara changing room, and I had all my clothes to try on, and nothing was fitting me. And for me that was just such a wake-up call. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't get any clothes now that actually fit me, and it was really upsetting. I just remember feeling so upset, and I was like, there's a real problem here. I need to work on myself. I need to get healthier, and I want to be able to wear clothes again. It was awful. It was really an awful sad time for me. Not about the clothes, but just where I was and how I was feeling about myself. I guess I was unhappy in lots of ways, and I just really decided that there was a point where I was just like, I just want to work on myself. I want to feel better about myself. I want to feel better about how I look, and I'm gonna have to take some action now. So I remember I joined my local gym. I think it was a Pure gym in the area that I was living in at the time, and I joined the gym and I started going to classes. And because I hadn't been working out for so long, and I hadn't been, I had no fitness at all, so I couldn't go from doing nothing to working out every day. That just wouldn't have been possible. So I just went, and I would join 1 class a week, and then gradually I'd build that up to 2 classes a week, and then 3 classes a week, and then I got to the point where I could then go every day, but that definitely took months to get to. The other thing that I did was I tried out every single gym class that they had on offer, and I just really found the ones that I loved, and then I would enjoy going, and I started making friends at the gym, and I just really enjoyed it. It was really hard to start with, but it was more fun than it was hard. It was kind of a new challenge, and I certainly didn't overdo it in any way. I really did it slowly and gradually, and I really found which workouts I loved. And yeah, I guess that was my main sort of turning point, was joining the gym and started exercising. Also really got into health and nutrition at that point, and I started really researching healthy recipes and healthier sweet treat options, because I have a huge sweet tooth. I mean, honestly, my diet before was so bad, and I think back at like how I used to eat, and I used to go to like Pret on my way to work, and I'd get like a coffee and a muffin or something, hot chocolate and a muffin, and then I'd go out at lunchtime and I'd get sandwiches and crisps, and we'd get snacks. There'd always be snacks in the office, and you know, it wasn't necessarily that I was overeating, I just was eating the wrong foods, and I wasn't exercising, and I was snacking lots, and I was eating out lots, and you know, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, but I just didn't have much of a balance. I wasn't looking at the nutrition side of things and what I was eating and the health benefits and my energy levels and how much I could improve that with what I was eating. So yeah, it was definitely a huge turnaround for my diet. So that comes next. So in terms of diet, and what I mean by diet is I didn't go on a diet, I just mean my diet in general, the foods that I was eating. So the before diet was, yeah, lots of eating out, lots of eating on the go, lots of going out for meals, lots of, you know, I just wasn't looking at nutrition at all, or balance, or health, and I just was eating, you know, whatever I wanted, honestly. It was a bit like that. And when I got tired at work in the afternoon, I'd go and get a snack, and it would be a sugary snack. It wouldn't be like fruit or nuts or anything like that. It would be something sweet, and then of course I'd feel tired again in an hour, so I'd probably have another snack. I mean, it wasn't the best cycle to be in. I definitely struggled with my energy levels, obviously because I wasn't exercising and I wasn't eating well. So the balance of that all together just led to me feeling incredibly unenergized and underconfident and underfueled. I guess I was just eating the wrong thing. Yeah, so I guess, yeah, looking back at the diet, so then I decided, I think I was quite drastic in terms of the sugar side of things. I went home and I just binned all the sugary things that I had, like biscuits, sweets, you know, whatever I had that was sort of junk food based. I decided to just clear out my cupboards and get rid of all of it. Follow diets, I don't, you know, I do eat everything. However, I did really limit my white sugar, processed sugar intake as much as I possibly could, and I did that for a few months, and I just felt so much better. I just switched to fruits and healthier sugar alternatives, and I just, yeah, I felt so much better. So yeah, I couldn't recommend that more. That was for me, like, the biggest thing was taking out the processed sugars, switching my sweet things for healthier sweet things. So like having a fruit smoothie instead of a muffin or a croissant in the morning, to when I needed a snack, to having fruit or homemade energy balls or energy bites, having lots more fruit and nuts and seeds, and just really changing the diet around, which, you know, it can be intimidating, but the actual process of doing it is, I found so much fun. And I'd go on Pinterest and I'd go on Instagram and I'd find healthier recipes for a lot of the things that I was already eating. So you can find like healthier versions of pancakes, healthier versions of brownies, healthier versions of cookies, like whatever it is that you normally like. I would just like go on Pinterest and look up healthy options, and it, you know, it would just be making things out of oats and coconut sugar or honey and, you know, ground almonds, that sort of thing. Instead of white caster sugars and butters, it would be using coconut oil instead of butter. Because I love baking and I love sweet things, so I definitely didn't cut everything out. I just switched to healthier alternatives, and that really worked for me. Sweet treat, I didn't restrict myself, I guess. I just would still have my sweet treats. I would just have healthier versions of them, so that really worked. And then with that, I was also creating much more healthier meals, and I was cooking my own meals and cooking at home and enjoying it. That's the thing, I was really enjoying it. So for about 6 months, yeah, I was doing my gym, I was making healthier meals, and really quickly, I guess, I started to see results. I wasn't weighing myself or anything like that, but I just started to see results, which was great. It's very motivating when you see results, and you know, it does help keep that sort of motivation up to exercise and to eat well. With a better diet and with moving your body comes just feeling so much better. So it was definitely a combination of the both that I changed into my lifestyle. And lockdown hit that year, and obviously the gym's closed and I couldn't go to my gym classes anymore, so I took up running during that time, like everybody else in lockdown. And running is something that I have always loved doing. Sort of put my music on and just go for a run around the fields. I was in the countryside in lockdown, and again, I didn't time it. I didn't necessarily know how far I was running each day or for how long, but I would go every day. I think I went every day for like 20 to 30 minutes a day, and just I do that in the morning, and that was like my exercise, and I loved it. I felt so good afterwards. I had so much energy from doing that, and it just was amazing. However, this is a piece of advice I would give to anyone, is to actually not overdo the same exercise too much, because it does lead to injury. Unfortunately, it can do. I mean, not always, but for me, I ended up getting really bad shin splints, and my knees gave me a lot of problems, and it got so bad that I then had to stop running completely, and I'm only just getting back into that a couple of years later. One of my things that I've now learned is to mix up my workouts and to do a lot more exercises that work for my own body. I've had to really work out what works best for me. Now I'm doing a mixture of different things. I'm doing some at-home Pilates classes, I'm doing some strength and weight training, and I'm doing loads of walking. Like, that is now my main thing. I just do loads of walking, and I do it every day, and I love it so much, and I feel really good afterwards. It's been so good for like my mental health as well as my health. So my main thing now is definitely walking. So that's been my main journey. That's been my sort of exercise journey. And then in terms of diet, I've just, again, it's not been a crash diet. I've not been on a 30-day plan, or I've not been on any sort of cleanses or anything. It's just really been creating a healthier lifestyle in terms of recipes, eating a balanced diet, learning as much about nutrition as I possibly can. So making sure that I'm getting all food groups into my diet, into my meals. I'm eating just, protein, vegetables, carbs, sweet treats, but healthier sweet treats. So just making sure that I'm having a really balanced diet for my meals. Restrict myself. If I really want something, I will have it. So, but overall, I definitely try and make sure that my meals are as balanced and nutritious as they possibly can be, and that I'm eating things that I love and that I feel like at the time. So I think it's definitely a combination of both that has worked well for me, and this has been such a good journey over the last few years in terms of looking after myself and looking after my health, and the benefits have just been amazing. I've sort of never felt better in terms of energy and sleeping well and enjoying moving and exercise. That's my biggest takeaways, are to just find healthy recipes that work for you. Don't follow somebody else's exact diet plan, because I don't think it's sustainable. I think you really have to find what works for you, in terms of the foods you like, what you like cooking, what you like preparing. Listen to your body, listen to what it's craving and what you want to eat. Same thing for workouts. I think, I love to just follow other people from inspiration and then take different bits of whether it's recipes or workouts, but I don't just follow one person and copy exactly what they do and expect me to look like them, because it's just not going to work. That doesn't work. Like, we all have our own body shapes and size and how we look, and I think it's really important to just really focus on what you love in terms of working out, and then also in terms of meals. Work out what food types make you feel the best, which makes you what you enjoy cooking, and I guess that's it. That's the journey. If there's anything else that you'd like me to talk about, or if you have any questions, please feel free to DM me. My Instagram is @Pinkskiesbutterflies, and I will see you soon for my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.